Hey guys, I'm Willie Macc. I am filming from the waist up because I don't have any pants on. It's coronavirus season, so I want to be comfortable. So I just made sure that y'all can only see what y'all need to see. Anyways, y'all didn't need any of that information. None of that was part of the questions. So let's get to the questions. What made me decide on camping for my Black People Like episode? The thing that made me decide on camping for the Freeform's Black People Like episode was, at first it was a joke. I was like, I'm going to do something just wild and out there. And then I Googled it and I saw that it says, it was like a forum about why Black people do not camp. And I was like, that's not true. I've camped before. And then I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I've camped before, but a lot of Black people don't camp. It's too many unknowns. It's too many unknowns in the sense of wildlife. Like, Black people don't got time to be chased by bears. We understand that the signs say bear beyond certain point or mountain lion season or anything like that. And it's like, why do we want to be out there? White people have this high sense of adventure and risk. That's why you see a lot of white people doing all that tightrope walking over buildings, and then they're skydiving. That might be another one. That might be my next one. Black people like skydiving. I haven't done it yet, but I've told my boy who is Black, who has done it, that I will go with him. Anyways, so camping is cool in the sense of getting away from it all for me. Like, it's a bit of a release. It's a bit of just, I like the stars. I like looking at the stars. I love seeing shooting stars when you can. The serenity of the wilderness is fun for me. I won't go to a point where they say, like, if y'all go beyond this point, there's bears and all this other stuff. Like, I still play it semi-safe, but I love the outdoors. It's such a relaxing feel for me as a comedian, and also in Los Angeles, like, everything is like this. It's busy. You got to be at this audition. You have to be at this stage at a certain time. You got to talk to these people. When you're out there, nothing matters. As an introvert, it's perfect for me. It's just like me. I'll take my son. I actually, when this episode aired on Freeform, a list of people hit me up talking about, hey, I'm Black, I like camping, maybe we should start a Black camping group. Like, how cool would that be to see Black people together camping? I know it definitely mess some people up that will see that. They'd be like, whoa, there's a group of them out here in the wilderness? This must be a reality show. So that's kind of what made me choose it, because a lot of people don't do it. I like it. I think it's fun. It's needed. And yeah. All right, second question. What would you like aspiring Black comedian? What tips? Tips to give Black comedians. The tips that I would give would be, you're going to have to work harder. It is what it is. I was listening to this white comic talk about, it's so hard to be a white comedian these days because they want more diversity. I've heard that. Standing at the Comedy Store, and I heard someone say that, and it was a discussion between some folks, and I wasn't supposed to hear it, but I, kind of heard it anyways. And it was like, why are you upset that it's becoming more fair? Like, that's exactly what they're upset about. They're giving us, not just us as Black people, just like people of color, women. We're all comedians, and it's now just time for us to, give us some stage time. Everybody knows Black comedians are funnier. That's just me being biased. But seriously, it's like, we're going to have to work harder. When you see the names on the Comedy Store wall, you see the pictures at the Comedy Cellar or wherever you're at, there's a bunch of white faces. So yes, you're gonna have to work harder. There's not gonna be a lot of opportunities for you right away. But if you keep grinding at it and you don't look at it as being black or white, or you just looking at it as I just gotta work harder, it's going to happen for you. It happened for hundreds, thousands of black comedians, and you just gotta keep at it. I would also say stay away from the N-word, nigga, if you can, because it can be shocking. It can be shocking. I mean, whether you say it in your everyday vernacular and all this other stuff, it's not going to get you more. It's not going to get you more gigs. There's only 4 black comedy clubs in the United States that might even be acceptable for you saying that. So stay away from it. Unless it's a punchline to a joke or is needed in a joke, don't be looking at the audience be like, man, N-word, just calling everybody N-words. Keep it at a minimum. It's like using the B word. It's like using bitch. It's like, keep it at a minimum. Unless it's for a punchline or it's super funny and is needed, then you can get away with it. Another tip for black comedians is just have fun. Don't ignore the racism. There's a lot of racist comics. There's a lot of people that want to engage in conversation. I had a comedy show, and it was in, where was it? It was in Santa Clarita, which is a very white area of California. I get off stage. I had a great job. I did a great job, and this older white guy said, "Boy, you're a funny nigga. I tell you that." And my first instinct was to lash out. Don't be calling me that. You know what time it is or the year it is and all this other stuff. But then I was like, nah, you can't smack everybody, man. You can't do all of that. You're gonna see a lot of that. You get to the Midwest, you see a lot of older individuals that will say it. I had a show in Vegas. I did a casino. And I said the N-word on stage, which made the people in the audience, or this group of people that was sitting up front, repeat what I said. That I said da-da-da-da-da, N-word, and they was like, yeah, he said N-word, N-word. It was like, and now everybody is like in the audience, like, address the situation. And I'm like, man, so, there's going to be some craziness that happens that you will see, and you got to pick your battles. Everything's not worth fighting. You don't have to be Black Panther of the Year all the time. But most of all, you're a comedian. You're not a black comedian, not an urban comedian. You're a comedian. And once you understand that and you know that, then things will become more smoothly for you. I don't even know if I said that right. But just have fun. End of the day. How would you sell someone on camping? Anybody that wants to go camping, let's go. Let's just enjoy the silence. We get away from our phones for a little bit. We can come back to the phones. You can come back to your bed and all of that. We're not saying let's live out there like it's the Oregon Trail or anything. Just a few days, a weekend, hell, a day. Start off with a day. Just go out there, see the stars and hang out, listen to the crickets and the campfire. Go out there and just live life, man. It's an experience. It's something that you should just add to your check-off bucket list. If it's not on your bucket list, put it on your bucket list. And it's just a cool adventure. Did becoming a father change your approach to stand-up? Did you try your jokes out on your son? Being a father is what got me into stand-up. I started stand-up in like 2009, 2010 or whatever, and I needed an area where I can vent about my life. I'm not a comic that write like an Anthony Jeselnik where he can write setup, my premise, setup, punch. It's like this. Some people just got these type of jokes, man. I'm a storyteller, and I'm a storyteller in a sense that I have no understanding on being a father. And if you know anything about me, my son's 18 years old. You see how young I am. My son was an accident. First time I ever had sex, 9th grade, 15 years old, I had a kid. And I was scared. I didn't know what to do. And now I'm at a point where a lot of my friends are now having babies. Like now I'm in my 30s and my friends are like, Willie, what advice would you give us? It's like, you don't want my advice, because I don't think I raised my son right or legally. Like there's been a couple times where you just get this people, adults get frustrated by kids crying. You hear a kid crying on a plane, even if it's for an hour, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. 30 seconds is a long time just to hear. Now, imagine having all the time. And at 15 in high school, well, when the baby was born, I was older. But anyways, it's like, I raised my kid exactly like how you expected someone in high school to raise a kid. So I'm writing about these experiences and I'm telling these stories, and people are laughing. I mean, it definitely sounds like Kevin Hart's stand-up special, Laugh at My Pain, but that's exactly what people are doing. They're laughing at my pain. I mean, my story is even crazier because not only did I have a kid in high school, I knocked up a lesbian who wanted to try out men. She wasn't even into me. She didn't even like me. But I was the safest choice for her. And then, boom, here she gets impregnated. I'm still laughing at it. That's a legit laugh. Like, I have in the past year and a half let my son hear the stuff that I say about him on stage. Him and his mom. They are just now hearing my stuff, because at first, as most people, they think that this is just a hobby. Then I took a couple years off because I hated stand up, and I was like, I don't ever want to do this again. But I had this urge and I had this desire to be on a stage and just tell my story to as many people as I can, and I did that, and I got good at it. So now I'm telling my story. You exaggerated a little bit, you put a little spin here and there to make the stories longer. And now my son and his mom are some of my biggest supporters. And that's needed because I talk about them. Now, I mean, my whole set isn't about them, but the parts that are, I don't want to be uncomfortable with them hearing it, or their friends hearing it, or they look me up on YouTube or Google and it's like, Willie Macc is talking about blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what that? I don't want to ever have that. So for them to accept me in all of that is super cool, and I appreciate it. Did participating in Black People Like change your opinion about any of the topics? There's a couple topics that that interested me. Veganism always interested me because as a meat eater, I don't understand how people have done it. And I was like amazed at this. And the one thing that the person who brought up this subject, I forget who brought the subject up, but she was like, just try it one day a week. And I was like, I could do one day a week. It's hard because I have tried it. It's hard because I don't know how to cook it. But then when I found some cool little vegan meals, I was like, all right, this is low-key legit. I could do this. Not forever, because I like a good steak. I like a good ribeye, prime rib. Chicken? What? Dang it. I didn't mean to sound like a black person getting that excited over chicken, but I did. Whatever. I like shrimp. I like it. I like lobster. I like it all. I want it. So that therapy is something that I've always been told that I need. I have so many friends that are like, Willie, you need therapy. You got so many issues. You need therapy. Maybe therapy will help you discover what happened in your childhood and blah, 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 blah. I've thought to do therapy, but I don't know if it will help. I'm scared to do therapy. I'm scared to just tell someone all my issues, all my problems. I don't know why. I don't have an exact reason why. I keep saying I'm going to do therapy. So I'm saying this in the sense of that it interests me. Will I do it? I don't know. Maybe one day just to see what it's like, or maybe just to write more jokes. There's plenty of comics that talk about went to my therapist or I had a therapy session and then found out blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, maybe it'll expand my horizons with some of my material. So maybe I'll do it for that reason. And then in the meantime, hey, who knows? It might help. Now the whole crystals and all that other stuff, I don't know if I'm a crystal person. I think I like crystals just the way that they look, but I don't know if I'm using it to do like sound baths and I got this crystal that gives me prosperity. That's a bit much for this guy. If that works for you or you've seen improvement, that's awesome. But I think it's also just because I grew up in the church. I'm a preacher's kid. And I believe in higher power, God, Jesus. And I guess that's just my preference. It's like people that are vegans. That's just the thing that they want to do. Can't criticize it, can't knock it. I'm not sitting here saying y'all shouldn't be doing it. Whatever works for you, it works for you. If you start a black camp club, what was the slogan? If I started a black camp club, my slogan would be, bring your black ass out here, it's okay. That's the slogan. Bring your black ass out here, it's okay. The amount of people that's over here getting mauled by bears and getting kicked in the chest by elk and all that other stuff, being nibbled up by sloths. Sloths don't nibble on people. I don't know. Raccoons, maybe. But it's like, it's cool. Come on, man. I don't know. We would go fishing. Black people actually like fishing. I mean, there's not a lot of us doing it. I mean, if you go down south, we've been fishing for years. Like, let's go out there, let's fish, let's just, I don't know what activities I would like to do. Just hike, just look at the stars. I would like to tell stories. I would like to bring a camera and film it, because the amount of people that would be amazed that there's a black camp club would be like, white people's brains would be exploding all over the universe. Like, look at them. They're over there in tents. I think also black people have a hard time camping because it's so significant, or it was like going through the forest as slaves. I think it's an ancestral thing as well. I mean, we was strung up on trees. Like, so why would I want to be anywhere where there's a bunch of trees? Like, that's scary. You don't know what happens. You would come up missing. That's why a lot of people are scared. But when there's a group of us, there's a club of us, and now, you know, we got numbers now. Let's go. Let's hang out. Let's do it. Stop being scary. I will be the camp leader. If anything happens, if a bear comes, I will run. I will run. I will probably trip one of you all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got things to do. I still need my TV show that hasn't happened yet. So, but let's go camping. Can you tell a memorable camping experience that you've had? I think one of my most memorable camping experiences that I've ever had was with my dad. And he went fishing, and he used gummy worms. My dad was scared of worms and crickets and all this other stuff. So this genius thought that, hey, you know what? We're going to use gummy worms. So he used to put the gummy worms on the fishing pole. And every time he would pull the rod back, the fish ate around the hook. Like, it was hilarious. And I don't remember I don't think we've ever caught any fish, actually, when I was camping with my dad. I eventually learned how to be brave enough to put the hook on and fish and all that other stuff. And I caught fish myself. But with my dad wasn't a successful camper, man. Like, the most that my dad did was he camped in our backyard. He bought a tent. We had an acre in our backyard, and we went out there. The woods? My dad wasn't doing woods, man. He wouldn't do the woods. He wouldn't take us that far. But just going outside, see the stars when I used to live in Missouri, that was camping for us as kids. And then as I got older and I started hanging out with more white people, the further I went into the woods and was like, oh, this is cool. This is actually kind of safe. So that's probably one of my most memorable, fishing with my dad slightly camping. What's something that happened recently in your life that will make it into your future comedy set? Something that happened recently that'll make it into my comedy set. I think it's more my son. Recently he got caught stealing at a CVS. He stole some condoms. And I'm like happy and upset at the same time. It's like, first of all, Malcolm, you could have asked me for $20, no question. I already know my son smokes weed. If he's watching this, I know this, Malcolm. I know you smoke weed. I know that you're probably drinking. You've asked me for money before. You ain't gotta steal condoms. I give you some. And on top of that, I'm also happy that it was condoms. Like, you being safe. You saw what me and your mom went through, and you was like, ugh, I don't want to go through all of that. So I'm like, I'm happy but angry at the same time. But what got me the most upset, because when the cops called me, I had to get him released and all this other stuff, blah blah blah. There'll be a joke later. But I was like, what did he steal? At first they just said teenage boy stuff. I'm like, what is teenage boy stuff? That's not a thing. Like, if you said girl stuff, we automatically think like tampons and like, you know, female stuff. Teenage boy stuff, I'm like, what is that? He stole lifestyle condoms. And I remember getting, the first thing I got upset about, I said lifestyles? He must have got that from his mama. Cops didn't laugh. I know. The cops didn't laugh. I'm like, he must have got that from his mama. I'm like, the Macc side of the family, we all magnums, you know? Magnum X sales. But that's definitely going to make it into the set that happened recently. And then right now I'm working on a joke where I'm talking about, like, my son works a full-time job. And he makes more money than I do at his full-time job, because he got like a legit job now. And 40 hours a week type of job, 9 to 5, my son. And like, I had to, a few months ago, I had to borrow money from my son to pay child support on him. You know how weird of a text that is? To borrow money from your son to pay child support on him, talking about, I'm going to give it right back. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. Just like camping, are there similar experiences you had in predominantly white spaces that you like to see more black people participate in? There's a couple things that I think more black people should participate in, especially sport-wise. Like tennis, I just started taking up tennis, and it's actually a very fun sport. And it's like you move around, you can kind of, it's just something that you can do. I tell black comics this all the time. I'm like, more of us need to practice our white people sports, especially if you plan on being successful. Whether it's tennis, golf. I mean, everybody's heard that a lot of deals get closed on the golf course. So why we not out there golfing? At least learn how to, at least, you know, swing the stick and all the other stuff. Wine. I'm a big wine person. I'm doing a master class. You ever see those master classes on Facebook? So they got a master class for wine. I want to have wine conversations. I want to be that fancy person sniffing the notes and like, oh, look at the legs on this one. And it's like, oh, this one pairs well with, like, when you start having those type of conversations, people just start looking at you differently. So those are some activities that I think we should start doing. I mean, it's not just necessarily I like how you said predominantly white, not just making it sound like it's a white person thing, but we should definitely, we can't sit here and complain about the things that white people are doing or the advantages they have, especially when we can have opportunities to learn and do some of this stuff ourselves. If there's a all white country club, we can make a black one. If we can't make a black one, we can get a group of black people together and we can learn golf together. So don't make it seem like, oh, they're not going to accept us, because, I mean, we can start our own stuff. We can start our own businesses. We can do a lot of that other stuff. I just started eating kale chips. What are you most excited about right now? The thing that I'm most excited about is I'm finally catching a groove stand-up wise. My name is starting to get out there. People are starting to keep an eye on me. I haven't blown up or anything. I got a couple of scripts that people are interested in. Granted, they said I'm not big enough to star in them, and that's completely fine. I'll take whatever little check that you can offer me. But I'm really excited about just the opportunities that are being presented right now, and just that the more streaming sites there are, the more opportunities it is to get my content in front of different eyes. And that's what a lot of this is all about, is just keeping the conversation going. What else is out there? First it's like just TV. Now it's like TV and movies. Now there's streaming sites. It's straight to, back in the day it was straight to DVD. Now you can be famous on YouTube, Instagram. Like there's such a plethora of places to put your media and make money. It's exciting. It's a very exciting time. I look forward to the summer. I look forward to the fall. I look forward to everything that's happening in 2020. And it's gonna be fun. And I'm really excited about everything. I'm excited about my clothing line that I just started. This my Willie Macc face. My hair is patted down right now, but if I stretch it out, my hair goes to about right there. But so things are moving. And I'm excited about my tours that's coming. I got a couple casino dates. I got Fort Wayne Comedy Club. I'm in the Laughing Skull. That'll be in fall of 2020. So just follow me on Instagram, Willie Macc, WILLIEMACC, 2 C's. You'll see everything that I got coming up. And I'm excited that you all will be on the journey with me. Bye.